What's going on YouTube? Marcus Crockett back with another video. In this video, I'm talking about the top 3 reasons why commercial cleaning businesses will fail, right? And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm giving away 2 pieces of really good information that you will be able to use and apply in your business right away. But the first thing is, you know what I mean? And I put this at the top for a reason. I put this at the top because I truly believe that this is the #1 reason why a lot of commercial cleaning businesses will fail. And they don't know how to do client acquisition. They don't know how to get into the faces of prospects to even be able to turn them into customers, right? And all of that comes down to just not really knowing how to market, not knowing how to market yourself to make yourself even look appealing to a prospect to get out there, right? So what does that have to do with? Well, one of the easiest fixes is being able to have a better logo, right? So poorly designed logos, 9 times out of 10, I see a logo, it doesn't look good, it's getting thrown away. If it looks poorly designed. Now, the good thing about it is you don't have to be a graphic designer. You don't have to know how to use Photoshop. You don't have to do any of those things, right? There's places you can go. You can Fiverr.com is one of them where you can get a logo made really quick, really cheap. It does not cost you a lot of money. You'll be able to use that logo, put it on all of your marketing materials, and then just go ahead and start making money. Also, too, is like a color scheme. Now, think about this. Regardless of what industry, what niche, doesn't matter. Pick one in your mind and think about the industry leaders in that circle. 9 times out of 10, all of them have the same color scheme, right? They have that color scheme for a reason. Colors psychologically make the target group think certain things about that company, right? So there are colors that encourage trust. There's colors that encourage happiness. There's colors that encourage fear. There's all these different things, right? What I'm bringing this up is because you can learn from these industry leaders, and it's like, okay, well, if everyone is using this color in this industry, and I'm in this industry, I might as well make my colors. I might as well use the same colors. So that's the other thing, is just make sure that the color choice that you're using is in alignment with the colors that are actually being used in that industry or in that niche, right? And then poor public appearance. That's the other thing. So you don't have to show up to these walkthroughs wearing, a 3-piece suit. You don't have to do that at all, right? You can show up to your walkthrough with nice khakis, a polo shirt, but the most important thing is make sure that the clothes that you're wearing are clean, right? Make sure they're clean, make sure you smell good, because you don't want to show up um, to present your company, a cleaning company, and then you show up with bad hygiene or dirty clothes, right? This is another thing. I've seen it. We've done group walkthroughs before, and I can tell who's new and who's not. And a lot of the time, it comes down to bad logos and dirty clothes, bad hygiene, and it's not a good look for yourself. It's not a good representation for the business that you're representing if your public appearance isn't on point, right? And I do dive a little bit deeper into public appearance, color schemes, and all of this stuff. I dive deeper into that into the course, but for right now, we're just talking about this. And the next thing is not really knowing how to properly articulate what it is that you do. Okay, so there's this thing, you might have heard of it. It's basically called like your elevator pitch. And it's really about telling what it is that you do within 30 seconds or less. So what is it you do about you as a person, or you about your company? What do you do and you have to squeeze that into 30 seconds, right? So we all have commercial cleaning companies or cleaning companies of some sort. Someone asks, like, what do you do? Oh, well, my company we clean office buildings. Yeah, that kind of explains it, but that doesn't quite sound the same as like, my name is Marcus. I own such and such, and basically what we do is we make sure that the clients that we're serving have a clean, sanitized, safe environment, not only for them but also for their customers and for their patrons that come into the business, right? Something along those lines, right? It's clear, it's quick, 30 seconds or less. they know exactly what it is that you do, right? And they're more than likely willing to, even if they don't go with you, okay, let me get your card, let me get this. You give them your card, they're more than likely going to remember what I said versus what you said, even though we both really said the same thing. And even if they don't go with me, they're more likely to pass my information along to someone who they may go with, just because I was able to articulate it a little bit better, right? We both said the same thing. I just said it a little bit different. And then once you acquire these accounts, like once accounts are acquired, not really knowing how to scale and grow. Now, here's why that's a problem. Because in this industry, or even as an entrepreneur in general, like there's no days off. You can't call in sick. There's this is your business, right? So it's up to you to create all your policies, procedures, and keep things rolling. They don't care whether it's you cleaning these accounts or whether it's your staff, whether it's your contractors, but they know that they have a contract with you, and it's up to you to make sure things get done. So I'm only bringing that all up to say it's like, we're all adults. We have kids. Some people have grandkids. Some people, people want to go on vacation. And if you don't have a big enough business, or you don't have processes for someone else to come in and relieve you while you're out, that can burn people out, where people are like, I'm tired of this business. I want out. And I've seen it happen over and over and over again, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you have policies, or you have some sort of procedures that are in place for when you're gone. So some of the examples of some of the policies that you should have is you need a key policy. What are you going to do if a key is lost? How do you recover the key? How are you, what if you get locked out? These are all things that you have to create, right? And again, I go over all of that stuff in the course, right? And then also, what are the alarm policies? What do you do if the alarm goes off? What do you do? These are all things that you have to create, right? These are things that no one's just going to give you. You have to create them. You're the business owner, and sometimes this stuff can become overwhelming for newer business owners, and for people who've been in the industry for so long, but they weren't able to scale their company out, right? But in order for you to scale, you need to have these policies and procedures in place first, so that way, as you're scaling, your policies and stuff are going to be able to scale with you. They'll be able to grow and get bigger with you. Okay. So the number two is really like not understanding the market. You have to be able to understand the market that you're in, right? And not understanding the needs of a prospect, right? So not listening to the prospect. So I know for sure that that you don't service a dental clinic the same way you service a dental lab. These are two completely different animals that require different attention, right? And it took for me to listen to the customer, for me to know the difference, right? And actually go in and do both before I knew, like, okay, these are two completely different things. They require different levels of attention and different levels of cleanliness, right? And you don't want to make the assumption about what is their number one priority, right? So we service a few different surgery centers, okay? And some surgery centers want uh, more detailed cleaning in certain rooms versus other rooms, depending on what day of the week it is. So you just going in and assuming that, okay, we have 3 surgery centers in Seattle, and then we have to go in and do the maximum amount of work in each and every single one of these surgery rooms every time we go in. That's making an assumption, and that's not what the customer needs. They need specific rooms because they don't use every room every single day. But before they go ahead and use each room, so basically they'll use a room, and then we'll go clean afterwards, and then the next room they'll go in has already been cleaned. So you can't just make assumptions. You have to listen to them and know exactly what their number one priority is. Okay. And then also too is like, you don't want to overestimate or underestimate the amount of time it would take for a specific account to be done. You don't want to do that. Okay. And there's a science behind it. It's not really a guessing game. And if you're been in this industry for a while, then you know that each account is, they're different. They require different things, and all 2,000 square feet accounts aren't created equal. It's a balance of the scope of work that needs to take place, and then you also have to like know what your production rate is. Okay, a lot of companies don't know how to look up the production rate, and even what they should be charging for carpet versus what they're going to charge for floor, right? These are all things, again, like this is all stuff that we'll go over in the course when it comes out, right? But knowing your production rate is key, and then all of that leads into being able to bid competitively. Like, how do you bid? How do you know what to charge? These are all things that you have to be able to know, that a lot of people don't know, and they get burnt out and they drop out, right? So that's number two. But number three, like, we have to know our worth as business owners. We have to know our worth, right? And we have to understand, like, time is our number one asset, and our time is not cheap. It is valuable, right? It is definitely valuable. And our businesses, they're living things, right? And they need more clients in order to effectively grow, right? Um, and you definitely want to make sure that you're being paid for all of the services that you do. Don't think like, okay, I'll be nice and I'll just give you additional services. No, because again, our businesses are living things, and we need more clients and or services to grow, because our time is valuable, right? And the problem with doing things for free is that people become accustomed to it, and now they're expecting to continue to receive free things, whether it's clean out the refrigerator this time that we're not paying for, and next time, hey, do you mind cleaning out the microwave? Like, we have to make sure that we're charging accordingly for the services that we do, because if I have my staff go in and they're cleaning out a refrigerator and it takes them an additional 30 minutes to do it, I have to pay them for that. Well, essentially, if I'm not charging the customer for it, I'm basically paying for them to have a clean refrigerator. Like, I'm paying out of my pocket, and you have to make sure that you're charging accordingly, right? So, guys, here it is, right? Here is the news that you will be able to use right away, right? And before I tell you this, like, I have to explain, my style of things. Like, I'm very, very visual. I'm visual, and I have to do things before I get it. But also in that, like, I explain things through a lot of metaphors. And that's just the way it helps me to explain stuff better. So I have to use a metaphor. So in this right here, like, I'm going to use a basketball metaphor. And there's people like always talking about like who's the greatest of all times. Like, some people think that the greatest of all time is Michael Jordan. Other people think the greatest is Kobe Bryant. Some people are going to say, oh, LeBron's the greatest. Like, this is all barbershop talk. Like, people say, people have their reasons on why they choose who is the greatest, or why they think so and so is the greatest. But now, like, I'm hearing like the new kids, everyone's saying like, oh, Steph Curry, he's the greatest of all times, right? But one thing I can tell you, and how this relates to business, is this, and I can attest to this. Like, regardless of who you think is the greatest on this list, or maybe you think that someone else is the greatest, right? It doesn't matter. The one thing that all of these people have in common is that each and every one of these people know that they have, or they've had, some sort of coaching, right? Even at the peak of their game, they had a certain level of coaching, right? Now, I do offer coaching. I do offer consultation, and that's something that I just want to make it known I do offer. But this is not the news that I'm giving you. I'm about to give you something for free, right? So you can go and get a free business mentor at score.org. They will give you a free business mentor, and it's really dope, right? I'm giving it to you because I've used it before, right? I actually have a Score mentor now. Now, I do have other paid mentorships that are more specific in what it is that I'm trying to do, but you can go there and you can definitely utilize this. It's 100% free. They won't never charge you a dime, right? And the other thing is government contracts. I'm not a professional at all in government contracts. I do have a government contract, but I like lucked up on it. I don't even know why it didn't go through the normal channel, but I have one. But I'm not the expert on this at all. But what I will say though, I will point you in the direction of some experts. The experts that I would suggest that you go to is called PTAC. They're in almost every city, every major city, and it's basically the Procurement Technical Assistant Center. Now you can Google it, Google PTAC Center in the nearest city near you. You can go in, sit down, have a meetup. They will show you everything that you need to do, even walk you, hold you by the hand, show you everything that you need to do to go ahead and start getting government contracts, guys. So that is free information. If you watched this video all the way through, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for rocking with me throughout this whole thing. I was trying to get this done as quickly as possible, but as efficiently as possible as well. But you know what I mean? Once again, I do definitely want to thank you for rocking with me. Guys, I'm about to hop off of here because I want to go home and I want to chill with my family. I want to hang out with my kids, see what they got going on. But as like I always say, man, I'm always dropping jewels. Just make sure you're in position to pick them up by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Guys, once again, my name is Marcus Crockett. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.